up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match, and Barcelona beat Man City 2-2, of course, during the game, during the 90 minutes, but win on penalties 4-1. To be honest, credit where it's due. I think Barcelona played very, very well. Again, our first game of the season. Man City have already played 2 preseason games against AC Milan and Celtic, losing both. And this is, of course, their 3rd loss in a row. They had a very, very strong side. Erling Haaland, Jack Grealish, Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, Garvaldio, Ederson, Calvin Phillips. A lot of their first team players playing, where Barcelona, of course, on the contrary, didn't. We competed very well, played good football, and you know what? Went toe-to-toe with them in our first game. Of course, we played on Thursday against Olot behind the closed door game, but we didn't know what happened that game. We don't really count that one, but very, very impressed with Barcelona's performance in this match. The starting lineup for this match was on the screen is on the screen for you right now. It is Iñaki Peña in goal, a back four, a fourth, Dominguez, Lenglet, and Martin. Midfield 3 or 2, you could say double pivot, Casado, Bernal, Torre in front of them, Julian on the right. It was actually Victor Roque on the left, and Pau Victor up front. And then we ended the game with Astralaga in goal, Alex Valle at right back, Cuenca, Inigo, Balde, and midfield 2 of Darvik and Romeu, with Gili Fernandez in front of them, Tony Fernandez on the right, Guem on the left, and Lewandowski up top. Of course, those changes came in sporadically. It wasn't, 2 X-sides as the halves. Look, man, overall, I was very impressed with a lot of players. Let's start off with the negatives first. The 2 players who I think played very important in this game, and the only 2 players, are Victor Roque and Noah Darvik. Firstly, on Victor Roque, those rumors might be true, His touches, his chemistry, moving the ball forward, his passing, all looks way, way off. I get it. He's playing at left wing, rainy weather, whatever the case may be. It ain't looking good, bruv, for Victor Roque. I mean, his runs in behind were okay, but the ball was never getting to him. His passes, I think his passing percentage was honestly 0%. Like, it was absolutely dreadful. I don't think he completed the pass. Of course, as a winger, didn't do too well in tracking in behind the runs, but again, he's not a winger, so I won't really go too in on him for that. But bloody hell, man, he was not great. And secondly, Noah Darvik. I think Darvik came in very, very poor. You can hear Hansi Flick yelling at Noah a lot during the game. Of course, they're both German, so he can speak German to him. He can get his thoughts across to him very, very well. You can hear him a lot on the microphone yelling Noah, Noah, Noah. So he was doing very, very poor. I think he did well in the final 10 minutes or so when we were trying to chase the game. Ended up dropping into a double pivot with Romeu, which was a bit odd, but I think his opening first, 10 minutes coming in was a bit weird. He was also wearing the number 10 as well. Those are the 2 negatives. I think the positive is everyone else. Iñaki Peña on goal did very well. Did not fall for, we saw Iñaki Peña get his chance last season. He was absolutely shite. But, I played well this game. Credit where it's due. We had Hector Fort. I think Hector Fort was okay. Got done a lot by Jack Grealish. Of course, Jack Grealish is coming in way fitter than Fort. But Fort did all right with him. Again, going forward wasn't the best. Sergi Dominguez, bloody hell. What a defender. He's really impressed me. Of course, the story with him is that he had a very high potential. He was kind of on the same par with Paco Barcia. Then he had a lot of injury issues, but the club trusted him. He's come in. Again, he's played very, very well. Clement Lenglet, he was I. I'm not going to lie. But again, preseason. Again, we saw Romeu last season. Let's now rush to conclusions with Clement Lenglet. Gerard Martin, I thought, was pretty decent as well. But again, he's not going to be someone that we're going to be looking for in the first team next season. He might be with Barca Athletic. We'll never know. But did alright in this game for me, to be fair. Made a lot of good crosses, especially low driven across the top of the box. So very, very good. The double pivot. The 2 marks. Casado and Bernal. Holy shite. Firstly, on Casado, we already know about him. We saw, of course, if you haven't seen a lot of Barca B games last season, he was doing the same thing. Those flick runs in behind, the flick passes in behind, the ball progression moving forward as well. He was sensational. And beside him, Bernal. Bernal was brilliant. Oh my god, his runs as well, touches, his progressive passing, his passes through the lines as well, which we missed a lot on last season. These 2 players for me are the ones to watch out for going into next season. I mean, they were sensational. Alongside the midfielder in front of them, and Pablo Torre. Is Pablo Torre now going to send question marks around Barcelona's board after his good performance against Olot? Apparently, he played very well in that game, according to reports. And against Man City in this game, he was sublime. Absolutely fantastic. Do we need Deni Olmo? Do we already have our Deni Olmo in house? That is going to be, of course, the big question. I think Balotelli did play very, very well. I'd love to keep him on going to the next season, but the issue is we just have way too many midfielders, and he will not get any minutes, especially with the fully fit squad. If you tell me right now Gavi's not coming back at all next season, I would back Balotelli for sure, but we're expecting him back as well. You have Pedri, Fermin, Gundo, Christensen, De Jong, all these, key players in the midfield. He will get no minutes, even with a few injuries here and there, unless we have a massive injury crisis. Then again, you want to bet on those Masia players, Casado, Bernal, Guillem, maybe even Unai Hernandez as well. So it's difficult for Pablo Torre, but again, he made his mark in this game and made his mark in the other friendly as well last week behind closed door, and he's really putting in a strong performance. On the right was Julian Araujo. To be fair to Araujo, as of course a winger, was alright. Really, really, really loved his touching, his crosses. Every time the ball was coming to him from distance, always controlled it super, super well. His crosses were always very, very accurate, had some good spin on it as well. Sometimes the keeper just read it really well, or the defender. His crosses were really, really good. Really excited to see him hopefully play out right back in future games to come. On the left, of course, Victor Roque, we talked about him. Up front, Paul freaking Victor, bloody hell. I mean, the finish was really, really good. The run in behind was good. Of course, had that really nice dummy for the Pablo Torre goal as well to create that space. He's looking good now. I'm thinking, he's going to be Lewandowski's backup now. I would say relax. Let's see a few more games from him. Again, we already saw what he did last season with Barca Atleticos. Now it's not all about applying that in the bigger moment, the bigger stage with the bigger players. But hey, he got man of the match. Credit where it's due. I thought he played really, really well. Could have scored another one, to be fair to him. Didn't miss a few chances with his runs not being timed too well and him scuffing the few chances. But not going to criticize him too much. I think he still played very, very well. For the subs, firstly, Alex Valle, I think he came in, played really, really well, especially at right back. Of course, got done a bit by the Jack Grealish goal, but again, it was quite difficult for him, especially with the ball jumping over the top and him slipping. But at right back, played really, really well. Again, like Araujo, really want to see him play at left back in the coming games. Tony Fernandez came in, looked alright. Again, decision making in the final third wasn't the best for him. It could be just nerves. Again, he's freaking 16, but scored the winning penalty. So I guess shout out to him. Inigo and Cuenca didn't really play too much. Bali didn't play too much. Romeo didn't play too much. Talked about Noah already. Gilly Fernandez came in, didn't play too much. Quem came in at halftime. He looked alright, to be fair to him. He had some good progressive runs, but apart from that, was pretty stale. Lewandowski, I mean, get a lot of hate in my chat during the live stream. Make sure you guys tune in for the next live stream, by the way. Classico this Saturday. It's going to be hype. With Robert, of course, could have scored the winning goal in the 9th minute, but it was a good tackle by the City defender. Had some good touches, good runs in behind. Again, it's all about fitness. I understand people are going to really criticize him with his heavy touches and stuff like that, but it's way, 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 way too early to start calling out for Robert's head at this point. I think he had some good link-up play, good flick-ons, again, but his job, of course, is the final third, where, again, didn't really, show up too much in this game. I don't know if I missed out on anyone else. Hopefully I didn't miss out on any other player. Of course, penalty shootout. Shout out to all the penalty takers. Lewandowski, Balde, Tony Fernandez. Who took the other penalty now? It's slipping my mind. Noah Darvik. So, all comfortable penalties. Shout out to Astralaga as well in goal for the penalty shootout. Saved the first two. During the game, though, he looked a bit suspect with his feet. To be fair to him, a lot of the times he was kicking the ball very, very late. But apart from that, didn't really have much to do in the second half. So now we got the first glimpse of the Flick system, Bloody hell. 4-2-3-1, of course, as we expected, with the, of course, number 10 playing in behind the striker, double pivot as well, one more sitting deeper, and then one, of course, being that box-to-box. The wingers were very much tucked inside more so as, like, right mids and left mids, to be fair to them. They weren't really naturally going forward too much, but they were, of course, holding their width very, very heavily. Fullbacks as well, making those overlapping runs. So a lot of what we expected, but now it's really down to implementing it, getting it going. I will say this though, the press from Barcelona was brilliant. Of course, we saw the press do well under Xavi as well, but that high press that Barcelona had in the first 20-25 minutes in this game, we were suffocating Man City. Again, City coming into this game with already 2 full games on television on their belts as well. We came in, we competed with them, we made it difficult for them, and we won the game. To be fair, the last, I'd say, 10 minutes of the first half, we were getting cooked. The 10 minutes after the chance that we missed in the first, early in the second half, we were getting cooked as well behind, getting lucky here and there. Of course, there are players being indecisive. They have youngsters as well, but I still think Barcelona competed very, very well against a team that's already well underway with their preseason. And again, we saw this again last season, of course, with Arsenal, but we ended up losing. We had a lot of gastroenteritis issues, illnesses, stuff like that, but we saw Barcelona really compete, and this is how you know we have a high-level squad with high-level players, just down to implementing them into the system all together cohesively, and of course, applying it during this season. But overall, satisfied, but wait and see now how we can get the games against Madrid, against Milan. Hopefully get some more fluidity, get more players in their natural positions, and more players back as well. Of course, no Gundogan, no Ter Stegen, no Christensen, no Rafinha in this game. They probably will play against Real Madrid. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them even started as well. But overall, very, very satisfied. And again, we have a good glimpse into what Flick will do during the season. And again, it's going to come down to how he applies it. But again, with preseason, you cannot judge it. The first time you can judge Hansi Flick, August the 17th, Mestalla against Valencia. That is the one I'm looking for. Of course, in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on the matchup. Of course, drop a like if you haven't already, and subscribe down below if you are new. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.